Does your draw feel slow? Do you never think that you're going to get faster? Well, if so, you've come to the right place. What's up, guys? My name is Rob Epifania. I'm a USPSA Grandmaster, and I'm the owner of Systematic Performance Concepts. In this video here, we're going to talk about some tips to make your draw faster. When we talk about the draw, there are common things that people do that causes them to lose time. Simple things that you guys will be able to work on yourself, and immediately you'll probably see a 0.3 to 0.5 second gain, especially if you put all these together at once. Let's start talking about it. So, number one is people do not respond quickly enough to whatever the stimulus is. In this case, for competitive shooting purposes and a lot of like your standardized time drills, we will use a shot timer. So I have two of them here. Both of these are from Shooters Global. Use them for different purposes. So I'll be using them both of them. I will be using both of them today. So first common thing, we don't react quick enough to the beep. How can we do that better? This beep, when it goes off, is 3 to 4 tenths of a second long. Okay. So when we're working our reaction time, there's a simple exercise for us to do. And all we can do here is when the beep goes off, we smack the timer. So we get in our normal draw position, whatever we're about to start in, doesn't really matter. When the beep goes off, we're going to smack the timer. And it's simultaneously, we're going to get a grip on the gun. What that's going to do is that's going to give us a par time, a shot time. Every time we smack the timer, one that's sensitive enough, it'll register it as a shot. Our goal is to keep that time under a quarter a second if possible. So get started, beep goes off, smack the timer, get a grip on our gun. Okay, 0.24, 0.21 was the other one. Once we're able to do that, we can start to move on. Most of you guys, if you guys are seeing your times are 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, chances are you are reacting way too late and you're giving time away. That is a simple to apply concept. Think about reacting to the beginning of the beep, the letter B versus the letter P, so to speak. So once we're responding quickly to the beep, what can we start to do next? If you noticed, the way I set up this exercise is when the beep goes off, my left hand slaps the timer, right hand gets a grip on the gun. That's mistake number two. Most people don't move both hands at the same time, right? So what they'll do, what I'll see in people's draws is this hand will hang out. So they draw the gun, they're going to start to push the gun forward, and then they're going to try to slap this hand on. And when they slap this hand on, they usually end up gripping at the same time, and they end up pulling the gun to the left. So by focusing on getting both hands reacting at the same time, now we have a much cleaner draw that has much less bounce, and your grip gets ready sooner. Okay, so to recap so far, react fast to the beep, move both hands quickly. When it comes to the support hand, what we want to do is we want to get close to the gun, but in a place where we can get it under the dominant eye, the gun under the dominant eye. So if we can get something like this, when we present the gun up, we're presenting the gun in a straight line versus out from the side and over, or from the middle over. That removes a potential path of error. Okay, so that's going to help out quite a bit there. A little exercise we could practice with this is we can use a 0.5 second par time, and our goal is to start from our ready position and get the gun in our support hand under the dominant eye. 0.5 is the time I use. You guys can obviously adjust this depending on your holster, right? That's the goal. Right, the intention there, be right around that par time. Obviously, if you have a retention holster or some other thing that you have to work around, you could adjust that par time up or down, but that will start getting you the first two components. Get to the gun fast, get the gun in both hands fast. So number three, Now what happens is when we get both hands on the gun, if our grip is not formed early enough, at that point, we're not going to be able to shoot as early as we want to be able to. So, a couple things that are involved with that. This goes into my presentation process: fingers, palm, pressure, leverage. The important part is that we want to make sure we're forming the grip as early as possible, however you do it. If you guys want to find out more about the presentation process, I have the free lesson series. Sign up for them. Take a look at it. It will change your grip and your presentation, especially if you have problems with getting the dot or sights on target. So we want to get to the point here where we're getting a grip. So fingers build, palm touches, pressure, and roll our elbows. And that allows us to be able to present the gun in a manner where the dot is already locked in place and you're going to be more likely to see it. Two main components with this. One is, if you think about presenting the gun like driving a car, there's an acceleration and there's a deceleration to a precise stop. So how well you can do, how quickly you can do that and precisely stop the gun depends on two things. One, it depends on your brakes, which your brakes in this case happen to be your body, your muscles, your shoulders, so on and so forth. How fast you can push the gun out, how fast you can stop it, depends on your body. Two, the driver, your mind. Training, repetition, right, and constant reflection on how well it's going. When it's going well, you're going to see the gun come up and stop. When it's not going so well, you might see something like you're either going to go way too slow or you're going to go so hard that you can't stop the car in time. So the gun's going to bounce around like that. Okay. Over time, over training, you start to develop the driver and the car to be able to work together better and get maximum performance. So what we want to do, as soon as we get the gun in both hands, right, we want to fingers, palm, pressure, leverage, and I want to push the gun more out than up. A lot of people want to do something like this, and they end up getting the gun in this angle where the muzzle tilts up and then has to flatten. Not only does that add vertical displacement just from the muzzle having to rise up to your eye line, it also adds rotation. So if I happen to shoot early and my muzzle isn't fully flat yet, I have more of a chance of missing the target high. Also, when you do it that way, you don't really have a full grip until the very end of your presentation. If you think about pushing the gun out and then letting it rise up that last little bit, so that looks like this, right? Out and then a little bit, you're going to find that your grip is actually ready about halfway, 3/4 of the way. And then I'm just waiting to see the dot touch my vision. What this does is this solves the grip check issue. What do I mean by grip check? When people go to shoot, and it's typically more so with 2 shots or multiple shots than it is with 1, is they'll get out on target and they'll ask themselves the question, am I ready to shoot? Is my grip ready to shoot? Even if their dot's there. So what happens is, brain sends the message to the hand, checks the grip, everything's okay, back to the brain, fire, goes back, fire. That costs you time, tenths of a second. 3/10 to 5/10 is usually what I see from that as well. So between reacting fast to the beep, getting the guns in both hands fast, and then being able to have a grip ready to shoot as soon as you see the visual information you need to see, huge benefit to your shooting ability. Just to show you real quick here, I'm going to set up a 1-second part time. And I'm going to do this draw at what I would consider to be a very uncomfortably slow pace. Very uncomfortable. So, but with the exception that I'm going to react fast, I'm going to get the gun in both hands fast. Okay. And then the presentation is going to feel very, very uncomfortable. Okay. So you'll hear the part time. This is the part time here. Right. And here we go. So here we go. Right. Center A zone hit, third scale target about 8 feet away. Here we go. Do it again.